All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, today, what I want to talk to you guys about I should say, is stop waiting for it to happen. Whether it's your fitness goals, whether it's your financial goals, whether it's your emotional goals, whether it's your boundaries, whether it's just whatever your idea of your life changing looks like, stop waiting for it to happen. Nothing is ever going to come to you, for free, regardless of what it is and what area of your life. And I think a lot of us here have these preconceived ideas as to how we're expected to level up in our lives. We're expected to have more financial abundance. We're expecting of other people to respect our goals and understand where we're going. We're expecting to do a little bit of work for our fitness and get a lot of results out of that. And, this is just a bunch of preconceived bullshit on how we all grew up. A lot of us were coddled in certain ways that have caused us to be deficient in certain areas of our lives as we grew into adults, growing up to do our own things. And, if there's anything you do this year, it is do not wait for things to happen. You got to make everything happen on your own front, regardless of what it is. You cannot wait. Your mom, your dad, they're not going to come save you. Your aunts, your uncles, they're not going to come save you. Nobody's going to fly out of the sky and sit down in front of you and give you the answers to all these questions you're looking for. You got to show the fuck up. You have to make it happen. You got to show up. You got to go to the gym if you want to lose weight and build muscle. You got to put in the reps. You got to put in the sets. You got to challenge yourself to understand what tempo is, what form is, and what technique is. You got to challenge yourself to look in the mirror and be like, do I even admit to myself the depths as to how I truly feel? That's all on you. And to be honest, when it comes to fitness, 9 times out of 10, it's a health scare or a comment from somebody else that really puts that mirror in front of you. And it's on you to hold that up, which again, it's on you to make it happen. If you aren't happy in your relationship with your partner, your family, or anyone else in your life that you feel you're not being either heard or listened to or taken serious, or your boundaries are getting pressed on some front, it's on you to make that change. It's on you. It's not going to happen overnight. If you want to create boundaries to protect more time in your life, to go to the gym, protect more time for yourself, to articulate yourself mentally, to see what you want to do with your life, or, some people, you want them to stop using verbiage or talk to you in certain manners, it's on you to draw the line in the fucking sand. Nobody's going to come out of your life. No one's going to come out of the woods. No one's going to come out of nowhere and just tell you what you should do with your life. And again, when it is that part of your life where you're being told that bluntly, it's abrupt. It's not because you want to hear it. It's because someone looks at you or life looks at you and says, you need to hear this. And it's the same thing. Demand more from yourself. So you got to make it happen. And especially when it comes to your career. You want to change your career, you want more education, you want more money, you want to take that vacation, you want to live this lifestyle you think you see online that is real, you got to make that happen. Yes, on social media, even myself to a degree, some of this marketing, you make it look a certain way. But every single thing that's absolutely in fucking front of you at this moment in this time in your life is your responsibility, and you got to make it happen. If you want a raise, you're going to have to fight for a fucking raise. That comes with developing that self-development maturity level of knowing what your self-worth is and saying what it's not. Have you even done that, or do you sit back and, I deserve more money? Everyone thinks they deserve more money because we're just greedy humans. We're programmed this way. It's not our fault. We're programmed to be safe. We're programmed to avoid fear. We're programmed to be comfortable. That's why it's so much more important that this year is the year that you just make this stuff happen. Stop waiting to look in the mirror and miraculously look at your body and say, I love how I look. Do you know what I mean? If you're not taking enough vacations through the course of the year, stop waiting until you wake up and I got the time and the money and the resources. Figure out how to make it happen now. And I'll be damned if I'm ever a part of a relationship, a friendship, or some type of acquaintance in my life where I don't have my 50 bricks I'm holding and they don't have their 50. That's one of the biggest things I've realized in terms of making it happen is if you want your circle to be involved with a certain amount of people and a certain type of people, you got to make that happen. And again, it goes back to the self-worth. Can you look in the mirror and know who you are worth to demand these things out of life? Because you either sit back and fall for anything or you stand up and rise for something. And a lot of us sit back and wait for things to happen. And that's where our expectations get all blurred and we get all upset at life. And, the depths of our fucking mental health start to consume us because we just sit there with inaction. It's not because of anything other than just inaction. You're just not doing it. And if you do, again, you're expected to get things faster so you don't do it enough. Do you know how many sets and reps of one exercise you have to do in the gym before you lose 10 pounds of muscle or 10 pounds of fat, sorry? Do you want to know how many sets and reps of one exercise you need to do to gain 10 pounds of muscle? I've been doing, shitty ass prime example, I've been doing incline Smith machine chest press for the past year and a half. Not a year and a half, sorry. Trying to get to do it for the last year and a half. I should just fucking cut this part of the podcast, but I'm not going to. I've been doing it since prep last year. So yeah, just going on a year. I'm doing incline chest press. That's even a lie too. I'm all fucked up on my times. I'm just saying, I've been doing this one exercise for a goddamn long time. And it's, let's say, twice a week the last 6 months for 3 sets of anywhere between 6 to 12 reps. That's probably over 500 reps. Do you know what I mean? In my entire lifetime of doing this is probably over 1,000, over 2,000 reps of just doing incline pressing movements. Especially, I'm 30 now, especially since I was 17. That's over 1,000 reps. How many of you guys have got over 1,000 reps in certain exercises? You know, and this is where you guys, again, going back to self-worth, when you want to change your career, where do you guys got 1,000 reps in that as well? Where do you guys got 1,000 reps in terms of your boundaries as well? You want to be heard, but do you even know what that looks like in your life? So how many reps do you have towards creating that in your life? And that's the biggest thing that I want you guys to take out of this episode is like, you can't wait for anything to happen in your life, and you got to be the one to make it happen, but you got to put in the fucking reps. And that's just it. My life sitting here, I'm so fucking grateful for. And I have nothing else to add to this podcast episode, honestly, because it's just short and sweet. And 2025 has to be that year. And I'm just sitting here so incredibly grateful. And I was actually on the phone with Lisa today. Everyone knows Lisa. Shout out my client, Lisa. It's just crazy because it's like, when you start to actually create the life you dream of, it comes to fruition. All of your expectations change anyways. My idea of success and freedom and everything has changed drastically since I started making my life happen, and that's why I'm saying the reps got to be put in. My first gym goal is to get a bicep vein. Do you know how many bicep curls I've probably done since I was 16? Probably fucking over 10,000. Do you know what I mean? So of course I'm riddled with bicep veins now. Like, same with the chicken and rice and vegetable diet. They joke around with like, how many chicken and rice and vegetable diet bullshit meals have I had when I was going through those bodybuilding preps years ago? I had 3 a day for a year and a half. That's a lot of reps. So same thing with my career. Like, I put in so many reps the last 2.5, 3 years to build my life up to where it's at. And I'm at the point where I'm getting to 365, 1 rep, let's say each day, times 3-4 years, we're into over 1,000 reps of me taking strides toward this life that I want. And that's the biggest thing that you guys all got to do this year is understand that nothing is going to happen unless you make it happen. And it's the beginning of the year right now. And you guys have all year to put in the reps. And this is where it becomes crazy because the paradox of that, meaning the silver lining, the thing where you're like, oh, I put in the reps. I've showed up. I've done all of the things before. The silver lining of that is, you got to keep going until you break through to the next level. So if you didn't break through to a next level, it either means 2 things. You didn't put in enough reps, number 1, or 2, you were too naive to take advantage of it and understand it because you weren't mentally ready for that next level. Because again, our expectations are a part of our system where we expect more than we deserve. And it's to a fault. It is what it is. It's no different than, like I said, we're programmed to avoid fear, to stay safe, to be comfortable. And this is the year of proving to your guys' self that you're worth more than just sitting comfortable and letting life pass you by, because there will be a day very, very soon. And I'm saying soon because, time is just flying by for all of us, and right now as you're listening to this, as soon as you're done listening to this, yeah, sure, you may reflect a little bit throughout the course of this day. There might be some things I say that, like stay into your brain for the next, maybe upwards of a week till next episode, but 2-3 weeks down the road, you're going to forget all of this entirely. This time in this space is gone. And that's how fucking fast. Before you listen to this, before I was recording this, that time's gone. And this is why this year is so much more important for you guys to show the fuck up and make things happen, because if you put in the reps, and you're mentally prepared to take advantage of the opportunities in front of you, you show the fuck up 365 days this year, that there's 365 more reps than you put in last year. And action counts. Action matters more than words. Like that quote I said the other day. Doing something once is better and more gratifying than saying something 1,000 times. you know? So if there's anything you take from this podcast episode, it is stop waiting for things to happen in your life. You show the fuck up for 2025 and make it happen for yourself. Whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it may be, you look up to the sky and think of whatever the fuck you think of in terms of what your belief systems are, but just create that vision of is exactly where you want to be your life and start putting in those fucking reps. Let's get it.